Hey, what's up, everybody? This is going to be quite a long video. You can probably tell just by looking at the bar. The duration of this video is quite lengthy. The reason for that is I'm going to be rambling, chitter-chattering for the next hour and a half, probably, give or take, about classic WoW. I'm just going to be giving some general thoughts about it. I'm not going to, like, overly edit this. I'm not going to, The most that I've done for a video ever, probably, was a fucking promo I barely followed through with. I haven't streamed that much since I did that, but I have streamed a little bit. And I have saved some of the things there. So if you're ever curious about like my leveling experience, I don't think I've streamed since I got 60, maybe once. But if you are curious about just like the day one stuff or anything like that, just go check out my Twitch highlights or whatever the fuck they're called. You can see a couple of things there. I highlighted a few things. But anyways, yeah. Let's get into this. I actually wrote down a few notes here. This is more than I usually do for videos. I usually just go off the top of my head. But if I did that, then I would literally cover absolutely nothing because there's a lot to cover here. And just by my nature, I am very tangential and long-winded. So I'm going to try to keep this a little bit on a straight and narrow here. Just actually get through some points, some bullet points I want to hit. And we'll just get right into this here. So this whole video is just kind of my overall take on the game itself, what I feel about it as a game, what I feel about it as my experience, my overall review, I suppose I could call it. I have a review for it at the end, but haven't given it too much thought how to explain why I equate to that. So that'll be fun to pull out my ass when that happens. Okay, let's just get to this. Let's look at my first note here. Okay, so the first section is just going to be about my overall thoughts about the game. And apologies if you get sick of my voice or anything like that. I know I probably will be within the first 10 minutes. I'm going to get sick of just hearing myself talk. Going to try to keep myself nice and sedated, nice and calm. Don't fucking yell about stuff. Who cares? It's just a game. Right? Anyways, here we go. Overall thoughts. So the first note here is talking about just how blind I went into the game. Basically, I was convinced that I wasn't going to be playing this for, the year or so leading up to it. I was like, I kind of played the shit out of Nostalrius. I don't really want to level a character again. It was not a ton of fun once I hit 60 anyway. But, it was a lot. It was fun in general. Like, it was good memories. Like, I love Nostalrius, so I was like, I'll just let my love of Nostalrius kind of tide me over until I want to play this again. I didn't really want to play this. I was sort of talked into it. I was talked into wanting to play it. It didn't take much to talk me into wanting to play it, though. It really didn't. All it took was, like, one evening of just, like, reminiscing about fucking things, and I was like, oh, I'm hooked, aren't I? Unfortunate. So, yeah, I didn't really look much information up about this. I knew that there was going to be something called layering, and I knew there was going to be, like, spell rollback, or whatever the fuck it's called, to simulate the old-time shitty internet everyone had, to sort of compensate for not everybody having good connections, give it a little bit of extra wiggle room, extra leeway for all that stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. Now, the game is remarkably true to Classic. It really is. It's not a one-for-one replica, though. Not even close. There's a lot of things that are different about it. But it's very, very close to the point where it's kind of negligible. If you just turn off your brain and don't focus on those things, it's like, oh, this is classic WoW. This is how I remember it. It's very much like that. Nostalrius was obviously a little bit closer to the one-for-one replica of classic WoW because it didn't have... Basically, okay, let me just go over a few of the little mini changes that I'm not really a fan of, but I don't really give a fuck because who cares? There's like, you can move your characters up and down in the character selection screen. Who cares? You can see your BattleNet stuff in your friends list. Who cares? You can see... I don't know if this is a mod I have. It probably is. I don't really fucking know or remember. But actually, it might actually be the mod. Oops, whatever. I have 3 add-ons. One is Atlas Loot, which doesn't work, so let's just count that one out. 2 is Questy, because I really needed that leveling, because I would have been lost otherwise, even though I did this like 3 times, but I still would have been lost. And 3 is this one where you get to just add a note onto people. You can just like double click their fucking portrait, and then you can just leave a note on them, so if you hover over them, it'll show up with the note you left. I just like keeping track of people who have fucked me, or people... That whole mod idea came about because Taco like had this love hate boner with just, oh, I remember this guy's name, but I don't remember why. I probably hate him, and then we would remember why we hate him, and all that stuff. So it's basically just like a little note keeper you can put on people just to keep track of who they are, what they've done, little facts about them. And I've certainly made use of it. Usually people who I fucking hate, I usually put a little note on and be like, oh, okay, well, this guy's a elitist bitch who's whining about this or that, or losing loot, or pulling stuff, getting everybody wiped and leaving, blah, blah, blah. You can just leave notes about that. Who cares? What am I talking about? But yeah, I think that's the mod that allows me to see what class everybody is in my friends list. Maybe not. Maybe that's not it. But I don't know. I think you can see the person's class in the friends list, which is a little bit annoying, but who cares? You couldn't see that before in Classic. You could just see their name and if they were online or not, and where they were. What other differences are there? I mean, there's a little bit of differences in between, like, there's other little differences here and there. I can't remember all of them right now. I'm certainly not awake enough to do this. Probably should have woken up a little bit more first. But I want to talk about the biggest difference that I think we all can agree is kind of bullshit, and that is layering. Definitely the biggest difference between a classic WoW and this version of the game. Now, here's the thing. Layering sucks. It does suck. If you don't know what layering is, let me give you a brief overview. Since there's going to be so many people playing this game, and there was a lot of people playing this game, more than Blizzard even knew what to do with. They made like 8 servers to start with. Like, it's just going to be a fun little thing for a couple people to, get their hands on. They still, despite seeing the fucking level of response that this game generated, they still were like, it's just a small little thing. They think they do, but they don't, kind of, memory, I should say. I say memes because, I don't like to say that the full. I don't like to slur. Anyways, they just didn't fucking understand the breadth of support that this game had, and they kept adding servers and adding servers and adding servers. They realized, okay, every server is going to be fucking packed. All the original servers are definitely going to be packed. So they came up with this idea called layering. Now, what layering is it's essentially a way of managing to a degree how many people are on your screen at one time. Basically, think of it as mini servers within the server. It's all running on the same server, but there's like separate instances. It's like if you had like 5 separate instances of the world, as opposed to having one big world and then little instances in between. No, you just have 5 instances of the world. So, you could like be in the same spot as somebody who you're talking to, and you wouldn't see them because they're in a separate layer. And then if you invite them, then suddenly they're pulled into your layer. They just phase in right beside you. That type of thing. That's what layering is. Now, I don't like it. I don't think it's true to how Classic should be played. I think Classic should be played with a big fucking group of people to, compete over every single mob with, to have everybody just gathered in Ironforge sitting in the same spot. The best part about Nostalrius to me, well, not the best part, but I mean, the most memorable part of Nostalrius to me was when it was announced it was being shut down, seeing the, thousands and thousands of thousands of players all grouped in one spot in Ironforge, all in one big fucking circle, one big pile, one big line, so many thousands of players just grouped up and yelling and just bitching and having a good time. That is somewhat possible still with Classic. I think there's only like, maybe not 3,000. I don't know what the layering size is or whatever. I don't know how big the server size is. I don't know any of the details on that stuff, the finer details. But what I do know is that I don't think you could get that type of thing that you got in Nostalrius with everybody piled up in one spot. I don't think you could do that with Classic. Maybe you could, but I have my doubts. Anyway, layering is not really the biggest deal to me. I didn't abuse it very often. The biggest side effect of layering, let me just put it this way. The biggest side effect of layering is if you're trying to evade getting ganked by hordes, because Horde kind of outnumbers Alliance on my server, like 6-4. I guess it would be 3-2, 2-3. Where Alliance is outnumbered 2-3 on my server. So there's a lot more Horde everywhere than there is Alliance. And that makes it kind of hard to get anything done. And makes it kind of hard to quest. Makes it hard to do escort quests, especially. Holy fuck, makes it hard to do a lot of things. So, what people will do, and this is what fucking annoyed me a lot, was everybody in looking for group, or everybody in general, or everybody in your guild chat will all say, "Inv for lair," because they want to invite random people, or have random people invite them, so that they can, play the slot machine of maybe they're in a different lair than me. Maybe they can pull me out of this hellhole. Maybe another lair is a little easier to manage than this place because I'm getting ganked a lot. There's people everywhere. I want to get my quest done, and all the mobs are being tagged by fucking people who are in my lair. So let's see if it's a little less busy in another lair. That's the whole point. That's what everybody fucking does with layering. Apparently there was like instance layering, so you could like redo the same boss over and over again. They just dished out a bunch of bans and stuff for that. So it was like kind of their bad. But I don't really blame people for exploiting that because getting gear in this game fucking blows. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Trust me. Oh, man. So despite all the differences and despite all that, only layering to me is the big noticeable one. Everything else is totally negligible. Don't really give a fuck. It's not a big deal. There's somebody in my server in Discord who's just like super into this game, and he's like, it sucks, it's stupid, all the changes are so different, it's basically not even the same game. Who cares? I don't notice a fucking thing about it that's like, besides layering, no difference. It's all the same shit. It's classic, it's the same world, it's the same. Oh yeah, I guess another big change is the shadows. There's like shadows and everything, which kind of freak me out because it looks unnatural to me. I guess I can turn them off, but whatever. It's just odd. Anyways, who cares? I'm going to say that a lot throughout this video. I usually do. Now, the servers do go down pretty often. That's another criticism I have of the server stability. They go down with regularity probably about once every day or two. Now, they don't go down for very long, I have to admit. They do get pulled back up pretty quick, usually within 20 minutes. But the fact that they go down and they ruin, runs, they just ruin things a lot of the time. The fact that happens so often is a little bit of a thorn in my dick hole, and I don't like that one bit. I try to pull that out, and it hurts. It leaves a little bit of a bloody mess. Because I was trying to... The worst instance of this was I was trying to... I was running fucking Lower Blackrock Spire for the millionth time, and I was about to get to the boss that I needed to kill to have a chance at those fucking pants that I needed, those stupid ember clothy seer whatever pants. And just as we were about to get there, the tank fucking just drops from the bridge. He just falls off. Server shut down in 3 minutes. Tank falls off and dies. Oh fuck! I can't reach you and resurrect you. Damn it. Well, I guess we'll just keep pulling. We're 3 mobs away from the boss. I thought we were gonna race this down. No, we're not. We're not, huh? You're not gonna keep going? Okay, well, run over. 2 pulls away from the boss that I wanted, and runs over. Of course, when the servers were back up in like 15 minutes, we all reinvited and we all got it done finally. But it was just a hassle to do all that. It was a big fucking waste of time. But for the most part, the server shutdowns have happened when I'm not in the middle of stuff, which is like kind of good. Though for the most part, when I see warning server shutdown in 15 minutes, usually when I see that, I stop what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to start anything now, or I'm just going to end whatever I'm doing right now, so I'm not like pissed off by this. That's my self-preservation mode. And the DDoSes were kind of an annoyance, but who cares? It's kind of a given that it was going to happen at some point. If you guys don't know about the DDoS situation, it was kind of interesting, a little bit to me. There was a guy on Twitter who was like, I'm going to pull down the servers. And he pulled down the servers, and he DDoSed Blizzard for like 2 days straight. It's fine now, so I don't know what the fuck. Like, to me, that's sort of like fucking a hit and run with the police chasing you. Like, if you hit somebody on their bike and they go flying, and then you drive off, and a police car is like right beside you, and they turn on their sirens, like, what the fuck? There's no point in driving off any further. But he just kept fucking around, and he was like, I'm going to pull the servers down. I am trolling you. It's 2019, Donald Trump, Kekistan. You know, that whole I hate. Oh, I should probably not get into that. Oh fuck! Everybody on WoW is such like a fucking 4chan poll moron. It's unreal. Anyway, we'll talk about that at some point, I'm sure. But I'm. It's unbelievable how boring these people are. They're so stuck in 2015. People were stuck in 2008 for a long time, but you know things have evolved a little bit. But people are still like fucking 6 years behind. Like, come on, chop chop. Let's get with the times here. Anyways, the queue. Let's talk about the queue a little bit. Now, the queue for Herod, which is a server that I roll on, is it can go up to, at the moment I've seen it go up to 4,000, maybe 5,000. When it very first started, the queue could go up to 12,000. I think maybe it was up to 20,000 at one point. Was it? I do remember 12,000 a couple times, but I have a vague recollection. There's a foggy, hazy memory of a 20,000 queue that I sat through. Maybe not. I don't know. But despite the queue time, like the main time of this queue where it pops up, which is my time. It's 3 hours behind the server time, but my time is about noon to 8 p.m. That's when there's a big queue. That's when it's hard to get in. But it sort of dies down around 9. And then the server is, I have this written down as my note here. The server is remarkably dead from 1 to 6 a.m. Like, it is fucking radio silent, almost. Zones have people in them, but nobody's looking for group chat. Nobody's in guild chat. Nobody's in general chat. Nobody's talking. Barely anybody in trade chat. It's just fucking dead. And it's so strange to me that that's the case. I guess people actually have lives and people have things to do and they have to go to sleep at certain times. So I guess it's part of why that happens. Because, you know, people are just kind of have responsibilities now and little kids don't really care much about classics. So, and man children like me don't really have much to do besides classics. So I guess that's why I'm witness to this. But yeah, I want to talk about the queue a little bit. Nestarius kind of prepared me for this type of thing. Nestarius was at its peak. I remember seeing like 14,000 people currently online. I don't know if it counted Horde and Alliance when I did /who. I really don't know, but I saw 14,000 people when I did /who and Nestarius at its peak. That's a lot of people. I think it was actually 18,000. Fuck, it wasn't. It was never over 20,000, but I think I remember seeing like an 18,000 one time, and the queue for it was very, very long. It was a lot longer than the classic queue is. Very much longer. Maybe a little bit longer. I don't really remember how long it was. I just remember sitting through it. Now, it was preparing me for the queue of today. Because when I sat in the queue back then, I didn't really do much. I just sort of, watched videos. Watched videos. I sort of watched videos and just, like, ate stuff and fucking played other games in the meantime. That sort of thing. And, what was I talking about? Queues, right. The queue isn't that big a deal. Let's be real here. The queue is not that big a deal. If you have like 2 hours to get into a game, obviously that's going to be a little bit of an annoyance. But, I mean, I only experienced like a big queue, maybe once a day tops. And I just start it when I know that I'm going to, I'm going to do some other stuff in the meantime. I'm going to fucking shower and clean my room a bit or fucking do some dishes, make some food. Just do normal life stuff. Pet my cat, give him a hug, have him scratch my eye. He fucking scratched my eye the other day. Do all that sort of thing. And just, let the queue go on by itself. And then when you're back, oh, look at that, I'm in. Wow, I'm ready to play a game now. You gotta mentally prepare yourself for playing a game like this. And the queue is a good windbreaker to do that. So those are all the notes I have for my overall thoughts on just the game and its presentation and its stability and all that stuff. Now, we're going to get into my actual experience with this game now. How long are we in this? Only 20 minutes? Damn, making good time here. All right, we're going to get into my experience with this. This might take a little bit longer because I'm definitely going to sidetrack into some personal stories as I remember things. I'm going to preface this whole section by saying that the leveling process was actually quite mind-numbing. It was brain-hollowing. There was juice leaking out of my ears because I was so fucking like zombied out of my mind. Don't remember a whole lot about it, so I'm gonna have to try and rejigger some memories here. It's funny, this only happened like 2 weeks ago, and I don't remember a fucking thing. That's what this game does to you, man. Anyways, let's talk it. First of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about my fucking personal injuries here. Hang on, I have some. This game is doing some shit to my brain as well. It's doing like, it's because I haven't been able to fucking sleep. I honest to God cannot sleep. I tried just now. The only reason I'm doing this video right now is because I want to try and expend all of my juices that were leaking out of my ear and have traveled throughout other parts of my body. I want to get them all out as quickly as I possibly can and as efficiently as I can so that I can actually fucking lay down and sleep. Now, here's the thing. The injuries that this game has caused me is mostly just my wrists are fucked up, and it's annoying because I've been just having them on my desk for the last 3 weeks straight, and it's bothering me. That's my own problem. I have nothing to complain about. It's not like internal. It's just like a bunch of bruising on the stupid fucking bone part. I don't know the technical term, obviously. I'm not a doctor, surgeon. But this game has aged me a lot, man. This game is weird because there's a lot of things I want to pull in at once, and I'm going to get to them eventually. But I'll just go over my notes, and I'll try and put some things in as I go here. So the first day of Classic WoW was, I have the note here. First day was crazy, and maybe the most fun I've had with a game in years. And I sincerely mean that. The first day was fucking wild. It was an experience, and it was something that I'm never going to forget. I've never been there for, like, the opening of a very, very... I mean, I have a couple times. A game that was, like, as big as WoW, though? No. But I haven't been there for a game opening. Like, the fucking gates are open, cut the ribbon, but dude, let's go. I haven't been there for that, for any game. I think the closest I was there for was Runes of Magic. I think I was one of the first people to play that, and it was pretty packed when I first played. Maybe not, I don't fucking know. Runes of Magic, it was some game. It was some Korean MMO from like back in the day. Maybe it was like Soul Master or something. Still, my soul hurts from not having that game out in my life. That game looked so fun, and I played the beta, and it looked great, and it felt great, and it was nice, it was fun, it was different, and they just pulled it down and vanished, and I haven't heard a word from it since 2012. Anyways, that's a whole other topic. The first day was awesome, seeing the fucking million dwarves and gnomes all in one spot, trying to just tag anything. That was the meta at the time. Like, you're not going to do any fucking quests, you're just not. You can barely even see the quest guy, see how are you going to talk to him. The whole meta at that point, you can go back and watch my opening day stream of this. It was actually very interesting. I'm probably going to watch it back a couple times just because of how like monumental it was in my brain. It was so memorable. But man, there were so many rogues, so many things just instantly tagging stuff. I didn't really have a quick way of tagging anything because I'm a priest. I had to cast Smite. Hunters had the quickest way of tagging stuff because they had like, instant shot from across the zone and shit. They had, I think, arcane shot at like level 4, 5, 6, something like that, so they could instantly tag stuff. But in Dunmoreau, in that little pocket, I don't remember what it's called, done something. Just, you couldn't do a quest. You couldn't. You had to fucking find a spot where there was a little, like a tiny breath of air. It was basically like being in one of those, if you ever seen a video of like a Chinese indoor pool, just like packed with people, just so you can't even fucking move. There's so many people. There's water in there, but it doesn't look like water. It just looks like people's heads and arms and shoulders. So, that's sort of what it was at the very first day, the very first hour. You just had to tag anything, get any experience you can, because you just gotta go. You're not gonna fucking do your quest. You're just gonna wait for it to thin out a little bit before you even try. And it sort of thinned out. Like, it was weird how quickly it thinned out. Like, it was packed in the first 10, 20 minutes, and there were still a lot of people. But around 20 minutes, like, it just seemed like it was a sort of normal stream of like 20 people wherever you looked. There wasn't like the 80 people wherever you looked when you very first logged in. yeah, it was a lot of fun though. It was definitely one of the most fun, memorable moments of games I've had probably in my life. It was amazing. Now, my goal when I very first started was I got a big fucking night's sleep beforehand. I woke up just around the time when the servers were about to launch, and I started the stream up and all that stuff. And I was all energized and ready to go. And I decided to tell myself, okay, I'm not going to sleep until I run Den Mines. That's my goal today. I'm going to run Den Mines before the day is over. Because I know you can do that if you try. Like, from making a couple characters in Nostalrias and getting them to 60, and getting them to even 30 and 40. I know that if you sit there and play all day, you can get your character from 1 to like 18, 19, even 20 sometimes, and just run Den Mines. And I wanted to do that. Because, you know, at that point, there was probably not going to be too many people who were on that level of insomnia. And I actually ended up doing it. I did run Den Mines. There was a big server setback, though. Like, there was a big disconnection spree at one point, and everybody got fucking DC'd, and there was a queue when I looked back, and the queue wasn't awful. It was pretty bad, but it wasn't awful. It was like 6K or something like that. I think I got in kind of early compared to everybody else because I was spamming, okay, reconnect. And I got in, within like 2 hours or so after that. And I kept going, ran Den Mines. So despite all the server setbacks and all that stuff, I did meet my goal, which is good for me, my brain. It was not bad. It was bad for me, personally, in my personal life with, just me existing and everything. Because Slappa, did you fucking get... Congratulations, Slappy. You ran Den Mines in the first day of Classic WoW. Fucking want to... Here's your ribbon and your big old mouse pad with, anime titties on them, or whatever people get nowadays. So I didn't sleep until I ran Den Mines, and I was probably up for about 31 or 2 hours at that point, and I passed out, and that was probably the best sleep I had, because at that point I was like, okay, I'm kind of burned out already. I was like, I don't really want to play anymore, but I mean, I'm definitely going to, so I'm just going to pass out, and got like a big, long 10-hour sleep and all that, and it was great. Woke up, got back in queue, and it was like 10,000. I was like, oh boy, here we go. Is this what it's going to be like? Is this what it's going to be like the whole time? Am I going to prepare for this? I'm prepared for this. And I just kept telling myself, okay, it'll die down in a week, it'll die down in a week, it'll die down in a week. It didn't really. They increased the server capacity, and they added more servers, and they added like a thing where it's like, free character transfer while you're waiting in queue. Don't want to wait in this fucking queue? Transfer your character to somewhere else. And that was kind of interesting. It definitely helped cull the flock of people on the server a little bit. There's still quite a population, though. I think it might be like the second or third most popular server, maybe fourth. Top 5 at least. So, as I was leveling, this is another little note here. As I was leveling, sort of in the same vein as when I was in Burning Crusade, for whatever reason, even though I was kind of doing the same thing I'm doing now, which is kind of sad. 10 years ago doing the same thing I'm doing now. A little bit sad, but whatever. Maybe 11 years. I was leveling my Draenei. I was trying to be the first Draenei on the server to hit 60, which was, a pipe dream. I sort of lost steam the same exact time I lost steam nowadays. But as I was leveling my Draenei, I do remember being the first Draenei on the server with a mount, with an Elec. I was like super stoked about that. That's one of my like claims to WoW stardom, was people would be like, "Holy shit, you have an Elec! What the? I've never seen anyone ride one of these before." And I was like sitting in Stormwind, all proud of myself, like, "Yeah, drink it in, losers! Look at me, fucking sitting here, not showering in 4 days, it's leveling to 40." And yeah, it was a lot of fun leveling this time as well. But I was in the top like. I wasn't in the leading pack. I was never in the leading pack. There was people like 2 or 3 levels ahead of me at 13. I was 11. They were 13, leading the pack. And there was a gnome warlock and a night elf hunter, who were and actually a paladin as well. I don't know how the fuck he managed that, but those 3 were like consistently in the top 3 of the leveling race to 60, all the way to like in their 50s. The Night Elf Hunter's name was, funnily enough, 60, like just the word 60. The Warlock's name was I See You Over There. I See You Over There, I suppose is his name. And the paladin's name, I don't fucking remember the paladin's name, but it was like Stonks or something. Anyways, I think I see you over there became the first person to hit 60 on the server. I'm pretty sure, at least the Alliance side. I actually don't know. I wasn't there to see it. When I logged in the next day, there was like 3 or 4 60s on, so I didn't know which one of them got it. But yeah, it was kind of cool just to watch that the whole time, just seeing who 58, who, just typing in /who fucking 40, seeing who is 40, seeing who. Oh, is anyone 41 yet? There's one person 41. That person's winning. But maybe is there somebody 42? Nope, nobody 42. Okay, the 41 person is leading right now. It was like a fun little like racehorse type watching situation. I didn't have any money on anybody though. I probably should have put my money on IC over there because he was always in the top 2. Yeah, it was just fun little side event of watching a fresh server, seeing who's going to be the most no life person there. I was always like around that time. I was always like 7 or 8 levels behind the leader, which is still pretty fucking close. Near the end, though, I totally lost steam, and I was like 10 levels behind the first 60. But you know, I'll get to me losing steam later. So yeah, I was probably in like the top 8% of people who were leveling on the server. Maybe like the top 7 or 6%. Maybe at like my best, I was in the top 6 or 7% of people. Because I just fucking no-lifed it, and I leveled, and I knew I've been doing these quests for like a decade, so I kind of knew where to do everything, how to do everything, how to compete with people. You think I don't know how to steal mobs from people who are trying to get things done? Steal, spam tab, and spam fucking instant cast abilities? Of course I know how to do that. I'm a World of Warcraft player. See, I played literally every day for 2 weeks to level to 60. And by every day, I mean like basically nonstop. The second I woke up to the second I went to bed, playing that fucking dumbass game. And it was fun, but it was also kind of like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I know for a fact I'm going to get hard stuck at 60 anyway, where I'm not going to get anything done. And yeah, we'll get into my phase 1 complaints in a little bit here. But here's a little note that I preface this whole thing with. A lot of it is a blur to me. Did mostly questing the whole way to 60. And I've kind of touched on that already. The next note was a lot of fun seeing how empty Stranglethorn Vale was, since I was in the first little class of 30s. Yeah, so I was in the first little class of people who completed Duskwood and did all that stuff and entered Stranglethorn Vale as fast as I could, because the sooner I got there, the better, because I knew for a fact it was going to become a war zone, like an absolute fuckfest of people. So I did that as fast as I possibly could. And I still got ganked quite a bit there. Like, there was always people who were like 3 or 4 levels above me somehow, just fucking killing me the second they saw me. And that was a little annoying, but, you know, I didn't experience the brunt of Stranglethorn Vale the way I definitely could have, especially if I was a warrior or something like that. I was able to like get away and heal myself and stuff like that because I have Desperate Prayer and heat potions and all that. Oh yeah, I was leveling my alchemy and my herbalism all the way to 60 as well. I think if I didn't do that and I just bypassed that and did other stuff, I probably could have been faster, but I definitely went out of my way to collect herbs a hell of a lot and level up my potions and stuff. Apparently, that's not meta, though. You're supposed to be a fucking tailor if you're a cloth person, so you can make your epic chest piece, but who cares? Yeah, so Stranglethorn Vale was pretty empty. I went back there a couple of days after I hit 60. I just went back to Stranglethorn Vale, and it was exactly as I thought. It was a war zone. It was packed. There was horde everywhere. People were begging me for help because I was level 60. I got swarmed by level 30s and 40s. Just bonking me with their stupid little Wind Fury hammers, and it was a lot of fun. Like, that's a little tiny memory I have. That was just a lot of fun, because I'm a PvP player. I am so we'll get to that. Fuck it, shut up. Hit a wall around level 45 because I wasn't sure where to even go. Once again, I kind of hit a wall at the level 40 area. When I was leveling my Draenei, that's kind of where I hit a wall as well. Like, I was competing with people. I wasn't the first Draenei to 40, but I was the first with a verifiable mount. I think that was kind of my goal. And I mean, they probably had mounts as well at that point, but I was just the first one in Iron Forge, just showing off, being a dick about it. Like, yeah, look at my mount, guys, and my Elec. Wow, slap a good mount, cool. Um, there's this thing. I should probably give you a little bit of insight on this. I don't know a whole lot about it myself, and it's been patched out at this point, so I don't know the specific details of it, and I don't know how it worked really, but there was some sort of bug that allowed a lot of experience to be gathered. Not that much, negligible from a raid compared to a normal party. So what people did was they just made groups of 10, and they spammed instances and just had as much AoE as possible. And there was like a little strategy people came up with the Warlock's Eye of Sauron, or whatever the fuck it's called. Eye of Kilrog, I think. And they just used the eye. They shielded the eye, made the eye run around, pull as much as possible. Then when the eye got hit and dissipated, all the mobs who were pulled by it would fucking run all at once to where everybody was. And then you just AoE'd them down, and then you sat there, drank up, and reset, and pulled more shit. That was a little strategy people came up with, and I didn't do the eye part that much until Zul'Farrak, but I did do the just pulling everything and with a big raid of people and AoEing it down. I did do that quite a bit, and I guess it was fast. I guess it was, but to me it didn't feel that much faster than just like killing stuff by myself, doing quests, running an instance without a fucking raid of people. It did feel fast, but it didn't feel like it was mega fast. You know, it felt like it was sort of standard. But who knows? Maybe my leveling wavelengths and psyche was all fucked up from being online for 5 days straight at that point. So who knows? Only abused the raid experience thing once. It didn't seem to matter. Yeah, that's the note. The only instance that I did the raiding part of it was Scarlet Monastery's library. I think I did it in Graveyard maybe once or twice too, but it was mostly just regular groups in Graveyard. I was super pissed because I saw one of those rare spawns in Graveyard, and he dropped a hat that was like 20 times better than mine, and I rolled an 8 on it, and I lost it. My luck for rolling against people in this game has been abysmal. I've only won, I think, maybe 3 times rolling against somebody. One was the Emberstone Staff in Dead Mines, which is fantastic. One were the pants that I fucking finally got in Lower Blackrock Spire just the other day. And one was the Unholy Scepter in Stratholme Undead. I think. Oh yeah. Also, one was the healing staff from Blackrock Depths, but I don't really use that much because I'm a shadow. Oh yeah, I'm a shadow priest. By the way, probably should have fucking put that in there at some point. I'm a dwarf shadow priest. All right, chill. Didn't have a ton of luck on the way to 60. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm talking about here. My awful luck of not winning rolls against people. But I did see 2 BOE epics drop, and I didn't win them. Yeah, the Searing Bow in Zul'Farrak, I saw that drop, and the, what's that one called? The Ardent Custodian at some other point. I didn't win them, but it was cool just to see them drop, you know? It's one of those moments where it's like, oh shit, purple, holy fuck. Because it's at that point in the game where epics are hard to come by. Epics are hard to win. Epics are hard to, get yourself. Unless you're a fucking super mega tryhard with a guild and, DKP minus. I played the market super closely leveling. Okay, this is something that I'm going to talk about a little bit. I don't really care that much about it, but let me just say here. The next note right below it directly, and this is the final note of my personal experience here. I'll get into more personal experiences during my Phase 1 comments, which I'll be doing after this, but this is the last of my actual experience here because I played the market all the way, fucking any chance I could, anything I needed. The reason I did that is because I knew for a fact that I was quite a bit ahead of, like, the normal people's leveling rate. I was, like, 10 levels ahead of how normal people were leveling. Because they had to deal with a queue, they logged in at weird times, they didn't play all day, they had stuff to do, blah, blah, blah. But since I was like 10 levels ahead of people who are like doing their best to be tryhard no-lifes like me, but actually had obligations, then, I knew that they needed stuff. I knew they needed cloth, I knew they needed like any sort of gear that they could find, any blue that I got. I got a couple of blues on the way of leveling, put them up for cheap. because like here's the thing, I would have put them up for more, but nobody has money. Nobody had money. It was very interesting. It was a very weird experience going to the auction house for the very first time. When you the very first time I tried to go into Ironforge, I got like locked out of the game, which was like the problem. That's how I got into queue for the first day, is because fucking you go to Ironforge and everyone's like, invite for lair. I gotta get out of Ironforge. Please invite me to a working Ironforge lair. There was no working Ironforge lair. Just all cities were death traps. You walk in there, you are destined for being disconnected, my friend. You can't move, you can't cast spells, you can't get out. The game is frozen. You're dead. Um, you can still chat though, which was kind of bleak for everybody involved. But yeah, as I was leveling, I definitely played the market pretty heavily. I sold absolutely everything that I could, everything that I had any sort of recollection of people needing. Like, I need fucking tough crocodile skin or whatever. I was like, okay, that's probably going to sell for a little bit. I'm going to put that up there. Anything I had on me, I sold the shit out of. Any green I had, I sold. That was like of the whale or eagle or monkey or bear. Those are the big ones. Everything else kind of sucks. Anything I had, I put up there. And I tried to undercut as much as I could. Like, if something was up there for a gold 20 silver, I'd put up for 99 silver. Just so I could fucking guarantee it was going to sell. I undercut it by like, 20, 30% sometimes. Just to make sure, okay, I want this to sell. I don't want to fucking have my mail flooded with things that aren't gold and silver. I don't want to have that. I just want this all to sell, so I'm going to undercut as much as I can. It's going to sell for more than vendor price, and it's definitely going to line my pockets. So my whole way up to 60, I definitely played the market pretty, not smartly, but I definitely did it my own way. Because if I was playing smart, I'd undercut it by like 5% tops. But, I just wanted a guaranteed sell. That's what I did. And doing that, I made enough money to have my epic mount without any fucking loans or anything like that from other people. My epic mount at level 60, like a day after I got level 60. And I hit level 60 pretty fast, and I didn't see many other people with epic mounts besides me. So my estimation is that I was probably in the first, like, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people worldwide to have an epic mount, which is pretty interesting. Because that's, it's hard to come by a bunch of money. And for whatever reason, I'm just coming by money 20 times easier than I ever have before. Maybe it's a priest thing. Maybe because paladins had to... I think I just got too respec happy in the original class. Like, I do remember respecing like 1,000 times and doing, like, Seal of the Crusader with a sword and shield and shit. Like, what am I doing? Anyways. So, this is the second to last part of this long ass whatever this is. This is probably going to be the longest part, honestly, and I'm getting kind of tired here. My mouth is all fuzzed up, and my eyes are swelling with some sort of poison. But this is about Phase 1 comments. Maybe not the longest part, I don't know. But these are my Phase 1 comments. The game is being released in 5 phases, I believe. The first phase is Molten Core and Onyxia, which is, the endgame stuff that you want to do. The second phase is the World Dragons and the PvP system, the Honor system, is going to be implemented. Phase 2, I imagine, is going to be a fucking lot of fun whenever that happens. I'm not sure if I'm going to be still subscribed at that point. I'm probably going to be taking a break until Phase 2 comes out. So, I'm just going to do what I can now and hopefully get myself good for that. But I'm already feeling myself burned out a little bit, and I'll get to that a little bit later. But Phase 2 is going to just be the Honor system and no Battlegrounds. Now, I'm a PvP player. The only thing I've ever known is Battlegrounds. I've seen videos. I think World of Roguecraft, which is probably my favorite PvP video of all time. I think that was primarily filmed at the time where it was Phase 2. And people were all kind of geared out at that point. And it was just World PvP. That's all it was. It was just World of PvP. Because the only way you could get Honor in that system was to go out in the real world and kill other Alliance people. Alliance has to kill Horde. Horde has to kill Alliance. Alright? That's how you get honor. There was no battlegrounds where it forced that interaction. You had to go out and search for it yourself and be a dick and attack people and interrupt things and, cause a commotion, recruit for people, gank people, all that sort of thing. And I imagine with how packed the server is and how everybody kind of knows how to play now, everybody was keyboard turning and shit back then, I imagine nowadays that is going to be a fucking lot of fun. It's going to be so frustrating. It's going to be so mind-blowingly boring walking back to your corpse every couple minutes. But when you get that fucking snipe on somebody, it's going to feel so good because you're going to see that honor come up. Like, honorable kill. I got an honorable kill. I'm one step closer to Grandmaster, or whatever the hell the other one is. But here's the thing. I'm a PvP player. Phase 1 has no PvP. It just doesn't. There's nothing to do for me. The only thing that you can do is bissing yourself. Go biss yourself, bitch. You know what bissing yourself is? It's best in slot. You have to make sure every slot of your character has the best item in it possible pre-raid. Meaning, like, if you fucking are a Shadow Priest like me, there is no real good items for you. And if you roll on them, you're not going to win them because there's 16 other people who are going to be rolling on them. So I'm pretty fucked. I'm definitely hugely mega double triple fucked. And every piece of tier 1 shit and tier 2 shit, tier 4 shit, tier 5 shit, all that shit, it is all just for Holy Priest. You gotta heal. You're a priest, you gotta heal. What are you doing? I think tier 3 has a little bit of shadow, like, espionage, sort of like giving you a little rub on the shoulder here, little elbow in the side here. You can do shadow with this if you want. Anathema a little bit, I really want Anathema. Holy fuck, that's like my whole goal. I doubt I'll ever get it because I have to raid for that. And I hate instances. I hate raiding. I hate all of it. PvE is so fucking boring. How do you fucking people do this shit all day? Anyways, bissing yourself and doing 2 raids a week. That's how you do Endgame in Phase 1. Makes me want to fucking kill myself. Absolutely does. I was more miserable than I think I've been in years doing that shit the other day. Fuck me. Can't believe that shit. Anyways, I have come to a conclusion about Phase 1 and World of Warcraft in general. The way I've described it, I kind of pulled it out of my ass, but it is as good of an explanation of how I feel about it as I've come up with at the moment. Basically, World of Warcraft is a slot machine. I dropped my toothpick. How the hell did I drop my toothpick? I just was holding it. I didn't even feel myself drop it. Oh, there it is. Okay. World of Warcraft is a slot machine. In order to roll, you have to first, pay the upfront $15. So you want to play some slots, don't you? Well, of course I want to play some slots. Here's some $15. Here, let me play some slots for a month. All right, so you're going to sit down at the machine here. You're going to atrophy your ass a little bit. All your muscles in your lower posterior is going to be posterior. It's going to be very it's basically going to be like you've died. You're going to have some rigor mortis setting in your anus and your colon, all that whole area. So you're not going to move. You're going to sit here for an hour, okay? Sit here for an hour. Now the slot machine's right in front of you. You're going to stare at the slot machine the whole time, right? Well, first of all, in order to reach the lever, you need to just to untie. We're going to tie your hands behind your back. You got to untie those real quick, okay? Just untie yourself real quick here. Okay, good. You've untied your hands. Only 30 minutes have passed. Well, you got one more thing to do before you can pull the slot here. I know you want to do it. I know it's fun to, sit here and do the slots. It's so fun. It's funny. But one more thing you got to do is you got to have an eating contest here. You're going to have an eating contest. Now, the winner of this eating contest doesn't really matter. You just have to eat a lot. Make yourself bloated. Gainers. /R/gainers. Just make yourself feel like shit for a little bit, okay? Make yourself feel like shit for a little bit. Just, get a little sick, get a little dizzy, throw up a little bit. All right, slot machine's ready. Only took an hour. Time for you to wind up. You didn't even get your item to drop. Damn it. Okay, well, maybe in the next hour you can get your item to drop. Maybe then. Okay. So your item didn't drop. Time to fucking wind up for another hour. Okay, the slot machine, you gotta untie your hands again, you gotta have another eating contest, you gotta get even bigger, you gotta get even more bloated, you gotta throw up a little bit more, you gotta have a shit diarrhea all over the place. Okay, slot machine's ready again. Now what? You're gonna pull the lever? Oh, you're a little slower this time, aren't you? You're not really excited about this. Okay, well, here we go. Oh, your item didn't drop a fucking again. Okay, maybe next hour you can do it. Over and 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 over. And finally, your item drops. Ninth fucking run. Finally, your item drops. All right, time to roll need on it. Oh, 3 other people are rolling need on it. Okay, so you have a 1 in 3 chance after a 1 in 20 chance of it dropping. Now you have a 1 in 3 chance of, oh, you didn't get it. Damn. But you saw some other guy got it. He doesn't ever have to do this shit ever again. He can move on to his next thing. That's so cool that he can just move on and you have to do this again. You have to keep doing this again and again. You have to keep going to get your best in slot. You have to. What else are you going to do? It's phase 1. What the fuck else are you going to do? Okay, well, you can tie up your hands again, and here's a fucking salad. Salad, that's the worst thing I could have come up with. A burger, a big old burg. It is a slot machine that you have to run a marathon to get to, and then wait an hour to pull the lever. And then you have like a 1 in 20 chance of fucking anything even happening, and then you have a 1 in 3 chance of even winning it. The worst shit in the world. I can't believe I wasted fucking a full week doing that on Skull-Elements, and Lower Blackrock Spire, and Blackrock Depths. Before that. Oh boy. Anyways, yeah. I fucking hate phase 1. I fucking hate it. It sucks. Okay, relax. Calm down. No screaming. Chill out. Okay. So, here's 3 notes here. I did Blackrock Depths, the biggest instance in the entire game, with everybody wanting to do like, oh, can I do these quests? Can I do jailbreak? Hey, can I run this? Can we go over here? Can we go do this instead? Can we run this? Oh, we wiped. Damn. Can we skip this? Oh, we pulled stuff. Damn. It's fucking over and 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 over again. You have to actually find groups for that. You have to untie your hands. You have to eat a fucking cherry pie. And then all of a sudden, your item doesn't drop and you have to do it again. It's like, I don't know why I'd play this game. I don't know. I don't get it. At the very fucking least, with PvP and the reward system for PvP, you're constantly moving your way towards that goal. You're going to get it eventually. There's nothing that can fucking stop you if you keep doing it. If you keep doing this, theoretically, you could do this for like 3 months and not fucking get your item. It could happen. You can do this all day, every day for 3 months, and it can just either 1, not drop ever, or 2, it drops and somebody else wins it. Those are the 2 fucking options that I've had. And seeing other people get geared with shit that I want for 3 weeks straight made me so fucking bitter and just pissed off. I can't even tell you how I was like enraged all the time a couple days ago. What broke me out of it was like I finally won one of the fucking items I've been going for 2 weeks. I'm like, it was the biggest sigh of relief ever. I stood up, I got out of my room, and I didn't come back until I was fucking AFK logged out. And I was like, I need to not play this shit for a little bit. And then when I did finally come back on, I just ran some noobs through some through Dead Mines. Some little gnome guy. He was like, oh, I'm level 17. Can I run instances now? Can I run a dungeons? And I was like, yes, of course you can run a dungeons. Go to Westfall. You go to Westfall and you can run Dead Mines. This is about the right level for you. And he was like, oh, cool. Can I solo it by myself? Or do I need a group for that? And I'm like, no, it's a dungeon. You're going to have to get a group for that. But I was like, hey, why don't I just run you through it? And I got a couple other people to join with me. And it was so fucking adorable just seeing them being like, hey, dude, are you going to be a tailor? Here, I'll give you some of my linen cloth. And I was like, oh, that's so heartwarming. People are so nice to each other in the lower levels. And then after you've fucking built up your character as long as you have, and you've done as many instances as you have, when you aren't fucking jaded by all the dumbass group forming and mob pulling and boss killing and no shit dropping. You aren't jaded by all that shit. I was probably like that. I was probably fucking happy at one point playing this. I don't remember, but I probably was. I was probably like, hey, do you need that grain? I really love it. If you could, give it to me as an upgrade for me, I was probably happy at one point. I don't know. Maybe. I don't have like video of it, so probably not, but there was probably a point where I was at least, somewhat happy about something in an instance, but not anymore. Not any fucking more. Okay, so I did Blackrock Depths for about 6 items. There's 6 items of Blackrock Depths that I needed. I ran it about 21 times. And I got all but one. The only one that I need in quotation marks is the Burst of Knowledge. If I get that, I'm officially done with Blackrock Depths, and I will never need to go there ever again in my fucking life, ever, as long as I can help it. I did Skull Elements the other day, all day, for 3 days straight. Skull Elements, I did it about 10 or 12 times. 10 to 12 times. I didn't count. I have to kill Vectus, because he has a 7 to 8% chance of dropping a best-in-slot Shadow Priest necklace. Never got it. Never got it to drop. The one time we killed the other fucking guy, Bardock or whatever, he dropped his fucking sword that has a 7% chance to drop. Interesting how the thing that I wanted for fucking 12 runs didn't drop once, and the thing that I didn't want or care about that has a 7% chance to drop, the only time it happened, it dropped. Weird how it's like a slot machine, yeah? Wasted fucking 15 hours of my life combined doing that shit. Fuck. Anyways. And just the other day, I ran Lore Blackrock Spire a whole bunch, and I was doing it a little bit more before that as well, for the stupid pants that drop off the first boss. And I never saw them drop. Finally saw them drop once, lost the roll to it. Damn, okay, gotta keep going. Saw them drop again. Oh shit, 3 people are rolling on it. I somehow fucking won it. I've never won against 3 people before. I barely won against one other person before, but I fucking won that, and I'm super happy about it. I don't have to run Lord Blackrock Spire ever again if I don't want to. I'm going to, because I need the last gem off the fucking last boss. So I've seen that drop 3 times. Lost the roll to that every time, too. Weird how I've run the same instance 1,000 times for things that I need, and I haven't fucking gotten it, even though I've seen it drop a bunch. Interesting how that happens, huh? This game, man. Holy fuck. Anyways, and the last thing that I need, basically, besides the necklace, is the Briarwood Reed, which has a 20% chance to drop off of the rare spawn in Upper Blackrock Spire. Now, the thing that sucks about that is that it's a 10-man raid. So, in order to get there, you need 10 people. You don't need 10 people, but everybody just throws 10 people in because it's like, oh, we're doing Jed Rend runs. Because, here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about Rend at all. Nothing drops from him that I need or care about or want or give a shit at all about, even a little bit. Don't care. Fuck it. Who fucking cares? Fuck you. Don't care about either of those bosses, and it lasts like 20 minutes. I don't remember it lasting that long in the private server. I do not remember it lasting that long. Maybe I only did it like 3 or 4 times in the private server of Nostarius and whatever the other one was. But, I mean, what can I say? I don't remember it lasting that long. I think it's like bugged or something. Maybe they sped it up in the Nostarius. I don't know. I have no idea. But it takes 20 minutes. You sit there and fucking wait for 5 minutes at a time for things to spawn, and then they spawn, and then you kill it in like a minute, and you sit there and wait more. I don't know, man. Who knows? But it just takes fucking forever. And I have to do it. Like, if I want the read, I'm gonna have to do that shit. I'm gonna have to run Lore Blackrock Spire for the stupid gem, so I can get groups together, so I can put groups together to get the fucking rare spawn guy. It's just a big mess. The Briarwood Reed is like the best thing in the game for me at the moment. But in order to get it, I have to jump through a million hoops, and I have to get lucky through those hoops. I have to like hit the lucky golden ring hoop. I have to jump through that, and then I have to jump through like a fucking sewing needle hook thing, needle hoop. I'm not quite awake, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But I have to basically jump through the smallest hoop imaginable in order to I have to thread the needle, as they say. I have to swish, number 1, get the Lord Blackrock Spire gem. That's going to take all day in and of itself. Maybe even longer. Number 2, I'm going to have to get the gems and fucking get a key and get groups together. Getting groups together is going to be an issue as well, because I want people who are not going to roll on my shit as much. So I'm going to have like 2 other people max to roll against, which is not possible because everybody's a mage, and every mage wants that, so I can't fucking do that. And then number 3, when it actually does drop, if it ever does drop, I need to roll against those people and win it, which is almost an impossibility for me for some fucked up reason. So this game is driving me insane, as you can probably tell. I have a lot to say about this shit, but I'm going to do my best to leave it at that. My stupid slot machine hands tied fucking hot dog analogy hopefully is enough to burn into your retinas how much I hate this shit and how much Phase 1 is driving me fucking nuts. But I'm going to stop that for now. I'm just going to stop running instances for like, I don't know, a little while. Just hang out, do some PvP, run around, maybe do like a molten core or something like that. Just like, oh, something dropped. Oh boy, did I get, no. Okay, well, maybe they'll remember that I didn't win it. No, they don't care about me at all. You just use me for healing your instances. Okay. Thanks, guild. It's depressing. Anyways, I am a PvP player, and this shit is purgatory. That's my note. It's purgatory. I'm waiting to have fun. I'm preparing myself to have fun. The whole ride to 60 was preparing myself to have fun. Now that I am 60, I thought I was going to have some fun. Wait, no battlegrounds, no PvP system, no honor system, nothing going on. Okay, got to prepare even more to have some fun here. We're going to prepare even further. I'm almost having fun. We're almost there. Almost having some fun, but not quite. Just a little longer. Oh yeah, I should probably talk about the Goon Squad. That's one of my final notes here. There was a horde guild called the Goon Squad who has like 1 million people in it who are all not level 60, but they all got together. That's one thing I have to give the horde. I have to say this. The Alliance never does shit like this, ever. The Alliance is very, 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 very bad at getting groups together for anything. Very bad at it. Horde, I think it's just because they have so many more people, and there's so many more people who are just like, oh, Kekistan, Donald Trump. There's so much more like just groupthink in World of Warcraft. Everybody's the same human. Everybody's the same. I don't even know if they're human really, but everybody's the same like programmed human. Everybody has the same personality. Everybody has the same sense of humor. Everybody's the fucking same. So it's like, oh, okay, well, since we all share the same brain, how about we all get together instantly? Fucking 100 of us. Okay, cool. We're all 100 of us are together. Okay, let's get on a boat. So they all got in the Menethil Harbor boat. And they kept running off, killing the flight master, running back to the boat, and going, So a lot of the time they would just straight up miss the boat because they fucking suck. But there was a guy streaming it, and honestly, the worst part about it was everybody was so like, we're gonna miss the boat. We missed the boat. Okay, ready to stay here. Don't go too far. Don't go too far. Just stay here. They weren't trying it. They were just everybody sit here in camp. It was boring. They didn't do anything. They didn't try to do anything. They just tried to kill the flight master. They failed the last time. Like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the fucking we're gonna go to I don't remember, Theramore Isle, and we're gonna try and kill the raid boss there. And they all died in white because she has 1 million AoEs and they weren't level 60. And they called it. But up until that point, the guy was streaming, and the stream was awful, man. There was one guy. The most memorable part of that stream for me was this one guy who had nothing else in his entire life going for him besides the fact that, I kind of sound like Hank Hill a little bit, so that's all I'm going to say. And we're going to talk, damn it, Bobby. That's all he did. That's all he fucking did. I sell propane. Yeah, okay, we get it. You sound like Hank Hill. You got anything actually to say about the game going on right now, or are you just going to say fucking propane all day? People are so one-dimensional, and it's like, it blows my mind how anybody can have fun with anything. Anyways, though, I think I'm done. Yeah, there's 2 more notes I have here. Hang on here. 3 more. Basically, as a Shadow Priest, which is what I want to do because it's more fun for PvP, and I'm sick of being a healer in PvP. I've played Paladin for too long. As a Shadow Priest, there's like nothing to look forward to in this whole game. The entire length of this game's run, there's nothing to look forward to at all. Because every set that is released is for fucking healing. Every set for Priest is for healing. Every item for Priest is for healing. Every fucking trinket for Priest is for healing. Everything is for healing. The only thing that isn't for healing is Anathema, and I want that shit. That's the only thing I care about right now. Like, that's my endgame. That's my endgame. If I can get Anathema, I've beat the game. For me. That's it. Game over. Good job. Classic done. That's like almost a guaranteed to never happen because I just... The odds of me ever winning a fucking one of the trinkets you need odds of that are so low. And it's like, it's not like I'm going to join a guild and be like, hey, I would really like this a lot, and I've ran this shit with you guys for 8 months and I haven't won a single item. Maybe you could fucking give me this, just this once, huh? Would that be nice? No? You just use me for healing, and you're going to dump me to the side of the road and totally not help me or care about me afterwards, as usual, as every fucking guild does? Because every guild is like a perfect encapsulation of, like, the human race. I've been thinking about this too much lately. There's, like, a benevolence to the human race that is, like, I don't know if benevolence is the right word. There's altruism and selfishness, I believe. I think the human race has sort of thrived on a mixture of both of those. And nothing exemplifies that more than a guild, an endgame raiding guild. And by that I mean an unorganized endgame raiding guild, because a very organized one, very preservation of our guild. We have to have DKP, and everybody has to have something, and we have to all grow as a group, and blah, blah, blah. So we all get better. But of course, the guild leader wants to get as much as he possibly can himself. We're not going to talk about that a little bit. For a little bit, there's like altruism for humanity is like, I'm going to help you a little bit. I'm going to help you because we can't survive unless we all help each other at least a little bit, right? Parent has to help their child and stuff like that. So we all have like this little bit of something in our heads that are like, maybe I'll help you with no benefit to myself. But I think humanity is a mix of those two things. For me, from just my observations on looking at the world, looking at world news, looking at people in the world, looking at following people, looking at streamers, looking at fucking people in Twitch chat, looking at people who are on Twitter, looking at people who are just talking to news things, people who are getting interviewed, people who are doing anything, people who do anything. I'm pretty confident in saying that the altruism to selfishness ratio is like 15 to 85. People are 85% selfish and 15% altruistic. And I feel it in myself as well. I think that's kind of why I came to this conclusion, is because like now that I'm 60, I do not want to fucking do anything to help people who are my level. Anything at all. You're my level. You have the same resources as me. You're totally fine. You don't need my help for fucking anything. Fuck you. But if there's somebody who's like, I don't know, level 15, he's like, can I do the dead mines now? My heart's like, my black heart gets a little bit drippy, and I'm like, I gotta help this guy. He's too cute. He's too adorable. Look at him. He's so excited the cookie stirring rod dropped. It's adorable. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have gone down this rabbit hole. I can go down here for a long period of time, and I'm already kind of tired from talking for an hour and 8 minutes. So, my last note here. Well, I'll do that one last, but my second to last note here is the personal side effects of this is that I'm kind of burned out of gaming, I think. I think after this, like, where do I go? This is already like my third favorite game of all time. And now that I've experienced it again in its like full glory, that I thought I would never get to experience again, it sort of like bumped itself up a little bit to a point where I didn't think I would ever get, and I wouldn't get to experience this ever again because it was taken away from me. Burning Crusade was the last gasp of me having fun with this game, and it was taken away from me, and I thought I would never get that again. I got it again with Nostarius a little bit, but then I was like, yeah, I'm content. I'm fine with this. I've had enough fun for this, and I think I'm okay now. And I left. And then I came back, and now I'm having fun again, sort of, in different ways. And it's like, I can't believe it's happening again. Is this it? Is this the peak? Because it's happened twice now where I thought I would never experience this again, and I got to. And now that it's happened twice, it's like, is third time a charm? Am I going to fucking play WoW when I'm like 38 years old and be like, wow, it's just happening again. Here we go. Maybe not. Maybe this is the last chance I'll ever get to have fun like this ever again. Because like all other games since WoW have been sort of underwhelming to me. Some have been great. Some have been good. But none of them have really reached the same level as WoW the first time around. It was a whole new experience. It was just a different game. And it really set the tone. Set the bar really high. and haven't been able to reach it that since then. And I guess just to end this whole thing is fuck Holy Paladins. Playing as a paladin my whole life, I never really got the outsider's perspective on how fucking annoying they are to other casters. They roll on literally every item. The whole joke back in Classic, what I remember, and the whole joke that I remember everybody had about Classic was, this is a hunter weapon. This is a hunter item. Hunter gets to roll on this. Everybody was just like picking on hunters. Like, they get to roll on everything, huh? It's because the reason for that, I'll tell you why the reason for that fucking is. Because everybody in Classic was a rogue. And rogues, coincidentally, like to wear leather gear and use one-handed weapons. Same thing with fucking hunters. Hunters love to use leather gear and use one-handed weapons. So every time a hunter wants something from a rogue, the 1,000 million trillion rogues who played were like, I can't believe that hunter won that from you. You deserve that. You're rogue. Rogues wear those. But skipping ahead 12 years here, going to 2019, Holy Paladins are the devil. They take from warlocks, mages, holy priests, shadow priests, warriors, druids. I think rogues as well, because, you know, rings and hand of justice and shit like that. It's for my ret spec. They take everything. They take fucking everything. The only thing they don't take is, like, hunter stuff. And even then, that's not true, because they want, like, two-handed weapons and stuff, too, right? Fuck Holy Paladins. They take everything. And for some fucking reason, they win everything, too. They don't just take everything. They don't just get a roll on everything. Of course they get a roll on everything. Of course they do. Because they're Holy Paladins. They have to roll on everything, right? For their off-spec. But for some reason, they win it. Why do they win it? Here's the thing. As a Holy Paladin, I kind of noticed this, too. I was like, I never felt the same way that I felt now as a Holy Paladin through Classic and through Nestarius. I had a Holy Paladin 60 on both of them. For whatever reason, I never had this feeling as a Shadow Priest now, where it's like, okay, I've been running this instance all fucking day, and I haven't seen it drop once, and when I did see it drop once, I lost a roll on it. Because when I was a Holy Paladin, for whatever fucking reason, I just, like, ran through an instance, saw an item that I kind of wanted, rolled need on it, and won it. So I never had this drought of, like, well, I haven't gotten fucking anything in, like, 800 runs. Because I'm a Holy Paladin. I win whenever the fuck I want to win. Fuck Holy Paladins. Paladins in general. Anyways. I hope this has been at least somewhat entertaining to you. And it kind of hasn't been for me. It's kind of been... I could definitely do better. But this is all done in one take and I'm really tired. So that was just my overall thought of World of Warcraft Classic. Overall, I would give it a sex dungeon out of 10. What do I mean by that? Well, here's the thing I mentioned at the very beginning. I don't really know how to explain what I mean by this, so I'm going to try to extrapolate off just that statement alone. Here we go. You ready? This is not going to end up well. This is all one take. I'm not editing this out. Whatever I come up with is what I come up with. Here we go. You ready? Here we go. A sex dungeon out of 10. This game is a lot like a sex dungeon in the way that you think you want it. It's in your head. It's like, oh, that looks nice. Looks kind of good. I might want to try that. In fact, I remember jerking my little ding-dong on YouTube to some sex dungeon stuff one time, and it was great. I want to do it myself. I want to jump in there. So you jump in there. And you get your little ding-dong teased a couple times. You get a little tease here and there. Ooh, look at that item. Ooh, look at this item. You want that? It dropped. And it's fucking caged up and taken away from you. You don't get it. You don't get it. We'll leave your balls uncaged. We'll give them a little tickle every 10 minutes. Just to keep you interested. Like, oh, maybe? No, okay. Maybe not. Instead, what you get is you get tape over your nipples and you get it ripped off. You get fucking tape over your asshole. You can get that ripped off. You get caged up. You get muzzled. You get leashed up. You get fucking strung up in a tower you didn't even know existed. You didn't want. You're just like, well, I'm here and I'm strung up here. Maybe I get to roll on that item next time. Tickle your balls a little bit. Give it a little bit. Undo the wires a little bit around your dick. Just a little bit. Just a good inch. Give you a little more wiggle room. And straighten that shit back on fucking tight as I can. No, you don't. You don't get to fucking roll on that. No, you don't. It's res. It's reserved. I hate World of Warcraft. Have a good night, everybody.